Can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Good morning. My name is Elad Tako. I am an associate professor in the Department of Food Science and Technology at Cornell University.
Great. Um, if you were supposed to describe food science in your own words, what would you say?
I think that for me, food science is about how food or dietary ingredients can make us feel better. How can they potentially support the proper function of our gastrointestinal tract, including the support of the intestinal microbiome. Of course, I'm very excited to work as part of my research on different plant origin bioactives, different fruit and vegetables that have that potential effect. I think that one of the major challenges currently globally is to make sure that we have enough food for everybody and nutritious food.
Okay. You said you work on plant bioactive compounds. So what made you want to pursue food science?
Thank you. Yeah, this is a great question. Um, my PhD and my master degrees and even my bachelor degrees, all of them are within the animal science
Oh,
field. But during my PhD, I also worked on an animal model to better understand how food or dietary ingredients are affecting intestinal functionality and morphology. At the time, the microbiome was less known to be a factor. It only became a clear and important factor in the last 5, 7 years. So from my perspective, I was really curious to know how different dietary ingredients, including certain bioactive compounds, can improve or can affect the functionality, the development, the overall what we call gut health. So in that context, I'm working on both bioactive compounds um, um, that are identified, characterized from plant source. But also I try to understand how a physiological status is also affecting gut functionality. So for example, one of the two global dietary health concerns are iron deficiency and zinc deficiency. And we really don't know how these deficiencies are affecting intestinal functionality and how we can potentially utilize certain bioactives in order to alleviate the symptoms of such deficiencies.
that's great. Uh, if you were to say what concentration your research falls under, what would you say? When I say concentration, our department has like dairy science, sensory science. What
Right.
types of concentrations do you use in your lab?
Yeah, that's a great question. My research is kind of like it's kind of like in between food science and nutrition. When I accepted the position here, so I really wanted to make a bridge between our department and the nutrition department because I think that my research complement both departments. If I had to choose an umbrella within our department, I think that it's probably dietary ingredients, microbiology, um, um, the field of again plant origin bioactives.
The next question would have been to briefly describe your research, but you did that
I'm
as
happy
we
to
went
add more
along.
context. So again, my lab is focusing on how food, dietary ingredients, in combination with a physiological status, whether it's certain mineral deficiency or macronutrient, essential macronutrient deficiencies, diabetes, obesity, etc., are affecting intestinal functionality, morphology, and microbiome, and how we can potentially use some of the tools that we developed in order to better address these concerns.
It's quite interesting.
Thank you.
So the next question is, where do you see food science going in the next 10 years?
Yeah, that's a really important question. I think that all of us have the responsibility to make sure that there is enough food to everybody and food that we can easily access, which is becoming more and more of an issue. And when I say food, I'm talking about nutritious food, food that can actually provide the essential nutrients that we need. So I think that this is the greatest challenge that we currently have, and this is what I would like to see food science going towards, making sure that the food supply, the food chain is effective in basically able to reach everybody in our communities, in our country and globally, and to find out more about how we can again use specific plant origin bioactives to improve our diet, but also to improve our health. Specifically, when in my case, how to potentially improve intestinal functionality, how to improve intestinal microbiome, because it all adds to overall better health.
Nice. And the last question is, what is one piece of advice that you want to give to students who are getting ready for a career in food science?
Right. I think that it's very important to be passionate and interested, invested in what is the field of research or field that you want to focus in, whether it's food science or other things that potential students have in mind. Our department specifically, but also our college and campus, Cornell University, provide a really wide spectrum of different students' activities, from clubs to different other engagements that can further establish the students' knowledge and involvement in the field of choice. So take advantage of all this. Be aware that all of this exists for you to take advantage of, but also enjoy the ride. Like, it's super important because during your bachelor degrees, it's 4 years. Make sure that you really enjoy what you're doing, and that's the best advice that I can think of.
That is fantastic. Okay, Dr. Tako, I'd like to thank you. This was really great.
My pleasure.